All right, there we go. 7 o'clock. On behalf of the Lawrence High School administrative team and some guests that are here tonight, I want to welcome all of our parents and our future Cardinals. Hopefully we have some of our rising ninth graders, as well as many parents who are going to be joining us this evening. For those who may not know who I am, my name is Dave Adam. I'm a very proud principal here at Lawrence High School. There are a few other people on our panel here tonight you're going to get a chance to meet and hear from as the evening goes on. So on behalf of all of us here, though, we do want to welcome our future Cardinals to join us tonight. There's going to be plenty of information. We're going to have a chance for you to hear from some of our current Lawrence High School students who are on with us this evening. We have a short video we'd like to share with everyone, just kind of going over some of the major activities, events, clubs, sports that our school has to offer from the perspective of our students. You'll hear from our students about that. We'll say a few words about our LHS PTO. And then again, we'll turn it over to our administrative team so they can hear about all the wonderful things that our school has to offer for our new students who will be here very, very soon. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll go to the next slide. What I'd like to do now is introduce some of our peer leaders who are with us. We have a couple, if you guys could jump on screen with us now. You see on the slideshow a picture there of our peer leaders. That is last year's peer leader group. As you could probably imagine, these are different times these days. That was a time where we could be close to one another without wearing masks, and you can see the picture there. And if you'll notice on those faces of those students, the smiles, that was orientation for 2019. These days, we typically would be in the auditorium, having all of you with us, joining us. And then we were finishing the auditorium, we'd be touring the building and get a chance to take a look at what the walls of Lawrence High School look like from the inside. As we all know, these are different times and we're not able to do that as we typically would. However, that's okay. We're going to do it this way because this is the new way to keep everyone safe and make sure we can move forward. Again, if you see the picture there, that's our peer leaders from a few years ago. But what we have with us today is a couple of our peer leaders, and they prepared some information they want to share with all of you. So if I could just ask the peer leaders to introduce themselves and take it away.
So good evening, Lawrence families and community members. And I want to start off by thanking you for attending our first ever virtual open house. And we're really excited to have you guys all here. In a typical year, like Mr. Adams said, we would be in the auditorium talking to you guys, but we all know this is anything but typical. So I'm going to start off by introducing myself. My name is Hadi Raza, and I'm a peer leader. I'm also the officer for International Alliance at our school. And my favorite thing about Lawrence High School is the different opportunities and activities and the way we're able to include everyone in everything we do in our school.
Hi, my name is Elsa Fiera, and I'm also a peer leader. I'm also part of the girls soccer team, Team Pep Club, and I'm an officer for Operation Smile Club. Being a peer leader is actually one of my favorite things about being a student at Lawrence High School. In the peer leadership program, you're afforded a lot of opportunities to grow your leadership abilities and give back to the school and community. As peer leaderships, one of the key things we do is we get to go to other schools to support the younger kids in building character and teamwork. We also get to give back in our own school. One of our primary responsibilities as a peer leader is to help the freshmen integrate into the high school. We do this by hosting freshman orientation and running freshman seminars throughout the year, where we meet with the same group of freshmen. Like every month, we have a couple of meetings where we can form relationships with them, help them talk about topics that are really important to them and their challenges that they're going to be facing every day in the new environment of a high school. Freshmen can find us on the first day of school because we will be wearing our red shirts. And we're always happy to help them find their classes. The school is a maze when you first get there, and everyone has been through it. So it's our pleasure to help them through it. When I was a freshman, peer leadership.
Elizabeth, I think we lost you for a second. If you try it again. This is the new world of technology we're dealing with, so there will be some glitches. So I don't know, Elizabeth, could you finish that last part again? Looks like we're not able to hear you. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. We will try and come back to you. We'll roll back in. Marley, maybe you can wrap it up for us.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Marley Thomas. I am a peer leader here at LHS. I'm also a cheerleader, and I'm involved with the Deloitte program. For me, the best thing about LHS is the welcoming environment. There's always someone that you can talk to, whether it's a student or a teacher or a guidance counselor. There's always someone here that you can talk to. In addition to the peer leadership program, there are tons of opportunities here for students to get involved in school. There's sports, music, theater, DECA. There's pretty much anything you can think of. The LHS High School administration, staff members, and peer leaders have created this video that we're going to show tonight to give you a feel of what we offer here at the school. We're proud of our school community and all of that has to offer, as you'll see in this video. Of course, we can't show you everything about our school life in just 6 minutes, especially because there's just so much to share. But we hope that we've captured the essence of our school and get you excited to be freshmen at our school. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Welcome to Lawrence High School, a place where curiosity, creativity, character, and community are fostered each and every day.
Lawrence High School has something to offer everyone, from rigorous academics to competitive sports to the fine and performing arts to service learning and more.
At Lawrence High School, we encourage intellectual and creative curiosity in our classrooms and beyond.
By empowering learners to explore concepts big and small, we promote a sense of personal achievement as students prepare to enter a global society.
Through our extensive AP, honors, and dual credit course offerings, our students have a variety of opportunities to push their learning as they prepare for life after high school.
Learning academies that revolve around a central theme, such as business, arts and humanities, and STEM, provide further opportunities for students to explore areas of interest outside the classroom.
Through diligence and dedication, we redefine what is possible to achieve.
It has been said that creativity is intelligence having fun. At Lawrence High School, we see that fun in action every day.
The Lawrence Township Music Department has been named a Best Community in Music Education in the nation every year since 2014.
The fine and performing arts departments are staffed by educators who are also practicing artists in their own rights, performing and displaying their craft and passing that experience on to their students.
From Tri-M to the Theater Company to Fine Arts Festival, Lawrence High School has ample opportunities for students to hone their creativity both in and out of the classroom.
Creativity is not just limited to the arts, however. Whether you are role-playing for DECA, designing a better bridge in inventions and innovations, or flexing your decorating muscle during cupcake wars, creative problem solving is a constant across the entire curriculum.
At Lawrence High School, we build character through empowering students to lead.
Our peer leadership and Teen Pep programs give our students the skills, confidence, and opportunities to educate their peers as well as lead in community outreach.
Teamwork, sportsmanship, and perseverance are the cornerstones of our athletic programs.
Excellence in the field is built on a foundation of strong academic expectations, collaboration among coaches and teammates, and respect for self and others.
Each season is not just about getting those wins on the field, but also improving as student athletes and citizens.
Character is also built by facing challenges instead of avoiding them. In our day-to-day interactions between students and staff, we seek to break down barriers through dialogue, problem solving, and collaboration.
At Lawrence High School, a national school of character, we believe character counts.
We pride ourselves on our diverse school community that is comprised of people from a wide variety of racial, religious, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds.
Our community is stronger for the variety of perspectives we each bring to Lawrence, and we continually strive to embrace respect, and celebrate that diversity.
The freshman and sophomore academies help to create smaller learning communities within our school to better support our students as they begin their high school careers.
The Sophomore Community Service Project is designed to engender empathy and compassion in students who also are aiding the greater Lawrence community.
LHS students give back to the community through service learning projects, community service, and special events throughout the year, such as our Black History Month celebration, Hispanic History Month celebration, and the International Alliance Club's Culture Fest.
Beyond the classroom, Lawrence High School has over 30 different clubs and organizations that allow students to meet others with similar interests. Clubs such as Students Helping Honduras, Black Student Union, Operation Smile, National Honor Society, International Alliance, Character in Action, and Interact also provide opportunities for students to serve their community through a variety of initiatives and special events.
Each strand of our individual identities comes together to form the fabric of the Lawrence High School community.
Guided by this vision, we strive toward these ideals of curiosity, character, creativity, and community every day. That's what makes us
#Lawrence Strong.
All right, we want to just take a quick minute and thank our peer leaders who are with us tonight. We, the adults in the building, are so very proud of Lawrence High School and everything that goes on in our school, but we can never sell it as well.
Welcome to Lawrence High.
Oh, there we go. Those are the students.
Welcome to Lawrence High School, a place where
we really want to welcome you to Lawrence High School tonight. So we want to make sure we say it again. But really, the school is for our students, and everything goes towards meeting the needs of each and every student that walks through our doors every single day. You heard it from the students. You heard it from us. You're going to hear it throughout this evening. One of the biggest fears we hear every year is about coming to the big school, right? The high school is the big school, and it's not as big as we all think it is. As you heard from the students, between the teachers, the staff that's at our school, our students who are there, our job is to make sure that our students are ninth graders, and every student that comes in is feeling comfortable, is feeling like they know where they're going, they feel that they're taken care of, and they know that there's resources in the school every day throughout the school day. They're there to support them in all the different ways they need to be supported. Our job is to make sure that they have the best academic and cultural experience at Lawrence High School that we can provide. It's only 4 years, and those 4 years go by very quickly. And our job is that those 4 years, when they're finished, they're ready, prepared, they're comfortable, and they're confident to take on whatever the world has to offer them as they move forward in their life. So without further ado, let's get moving forward with our slideshow for tonight. We will share with you that there's some opportunities for some questions throughout the night, but we're just going to ask that if you have any individual questions for either a supervisor or maybe even a counselor, that we reach out after the video and connect with those individuals. All of our contact information will be on this slideshow tonight, and then we're going to post this on the school website when we're all finished. So you can reach out to any one of us who may have a particular question that may be specific to you and your child. But before we get started, like I said, real quick, we do have an LMS LHS PTO. Our PTO still carries over from the middle school here to the high school. A lot of connections. And if you go to the next slide, we have a set of officers that supports our PTO. Ms. Zerfeld is the president. There's all the officers that are there. We stay in very strong contact with them. They're supportive of all of our activities, clubs, and events that go on throughout a year, and really also work with some of the other parent organizations like Project Graduation and some others that really, again, provide for an experience of the 4 years here at the high school that we just couldn't do without their support. So we want to thank them for all their help and support have they been for us for all these years, and will continue moving forward. All right, next slide. We just want to share a couple of the events that connect, again, middle school as well, but also for here at the high school. Some of the music programs, some of the events, again, Project Graduation. It's a parent organization that coordinate with other parents to ensure that our kids have experiences that maybe we couldn't provide without their support, like I said. So we want to take a minute and thank the PTO for all they continue to do for us and support our kids moving forward. And on the last slide for the PTO here is for those who are not involved, we ask you to get involved. Think about volunteering, find out when there's more information. There's parent meetings. It's done virtual now, so you can do it from the comfort of your home like you're doing this evening. And we'd ask you to try and stay connected. The more supportive we can get our parents to be for our kids, the better experience we're all going to have. All right. So thank you again for our PTO. As I said earlier, all of our contact information will be here. The next few slides will be that information. So if you want to or would like to reach out to us, we are available to help support moving forward. For those who may have missed the first few minutes, I'm Dave Adam, principal here at Lawrence High School. We have our 3 assistant principals who will be with us as well tonight. You'll hear from them. Ms. Lopez, Dr. Berryeksa, Mr. Williams. Greg Z, our athletic director, is also with us. You'll hear from him in a little bit. And as well as all of our other content area supervisors who are listed here. Again, I'm not going to read them all. I'm sure you can see them, but they're going to introduce themselves very, very quickly. All right. And as we go throughout the evening, like I said, you'll be able to hear from them as well as the content that you work with. Next thing I'd like to talk to you about, I'm going to introduce is Mr. Williams and our Freshman Academy leaders. As you heard, we have a Freshman Academy. It helps with the transition from middle school to high school to kind of break the school into a smaller school and provide as much possible support that our freshmen need to make sure they're successful in their first year here at the high school. So team, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Adam. We appreciate it. Great video. Thank you, peers, for introducing us and getting us going for tonight. My name is Mr. Williams. I am the assistant principal. I will be the assistant principal for the freshmen as they are coming in, and I will be staying with them until they graduate. We at the high school actually cycle our assistant principals with the students so they travel with the class. And not only do we do discipline, but we are the point person for that student. So if that student has any questions related to anything going on, we can answer those questions or get them to the right person that might have the answers to the questions. So our doors are always open. Unfortunately, sometimes we're not in our office because we're often out in the hallways interacting with students or on Zoom as it is tonight. You know, one thing that we really focus on as the assistant principals at the high school is not, we don't see ourselves as disciplinarians, but more about character education and helping to guide students through, you know, the tough times that they may experience through high school. So, you know, without further ado, I have 2 of my colleagues, teachers in the building that are the academy leaders that will be working to actually ease the students from that transition from middle school to high school. And this is our Freshman Academy program, and our Freshman Academy leaders will be talking to you about some of the programs and activities that they offer through the Freshman Academy. So first we have Mr. Leonard, who's an English teacher. And then we have Miss Palumbo, who's also an English teacher. So there's a strong possibility that your kid will have one of these 2 individuals on their schedule when they start at the high school. So Mr. Leonard, Miss Palumbo.
It'll be me, Mr. Williams. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily Palumbo. The theme of our Freshman Academy centers around easing the transition from middle school to high school and supporting students during this important phase of their academic career. Throughout the Academy, we provide scaffolded academic support, improvement of academic writing in all disciplines, and increased student involvement in the variety of clubs that we have. The Academy also promotes a variety of support systems that we offer at the high school level. So one of the first things that we offer is the Freshman Agenda, and this acts as our freshman orientation. It's typically held in the high school in August. And the event's run by our amazing peer leaders that help the students get adjusted to the building and life here at LHS. We also run freshman seminar, which the peer leaders also discussed, where they pull the freshmen out from their gym class every other month, where they expose the students to student-like curriculum to help them address the social and emotional needs that come when we transition. Mr. Leonard.
Thanks, Mrs. Palumbo. So in addition to the academic adjustment that comes with coming into high school, both Ms. Palumbo and I are former middle school teachers, so we understand the anxiety and the expectations are a little bit steeper for high school. So we put a lot of supports in for students to help them both transitioning to the schedule and teachers' expectations and giving them academic assistance as needed. So we offer Cardinal Nest, which involves student tutoring. It's an initiative organized through National Honor Society, and it will be run with students working with underclassmen. We also offer office hours. These are being supported through our academies, and they will provide opportunities for students to come after school periodically to meet with teachers. And that could be for restorative credit. It could be for extra one-on-one tutoring. It could be small group assistance where we see needs arising. We offer a homework center. So that'll provide students the opportunity to get academic support in all subject areas. Many students adjust to high school, and you might see them traveling to the library for this as we resume a normal schedule. They find this is a way to get the help they need to complete their homework in a quiet setting. And we also offer destinations, which has begun virtually this past week, actually, with great success. That's another tutoring option for students in LHS, and this offers direct instruction focusing specifically on math and English, though we also offer executive functioning skills, organization and study skills, and other subject assistance based on students' needs. So we have 4 options for students. So if you're nervous about academics, we're here to help you with everything, including, everything that's been discussed. So we look forward to seeing all your students next year.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard and Ms. Palumbo. We appreciate you guys showing up tonight and supporting our kids. And again, the Freshman Academy is aimed at transitioning students from the middle school to the high school and being that safety net of support. So they will also be point people for your children and you if you have questions or concerns with that first year here at the high school. So next slide, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Hayes.
Good evening. My name is Maureen Hayes. I am the K-12 supervisor of our district libraries. And I just wanted to share a few facts about the high school library. Ms. Elliott, our high school librarian, works very closely with Mrs. Kramer at the middle school. So there's a smooth transition to the high school. She will meet with all freshmen during the first few months of school, whether they're in person or remote, for library orientation. She maintains a large collection of ebooks and digital resources so that students have access to these materials if they are not in the building. She also still has paper books available, so students are able to go into the library system and request books for checkout, and she will get them to you. She has quite an extensive website, and on the website are videos to support students with how to maneuver the different parts of the library, specifically the different databases that she has, which I've listed here in the PowerPoint. So please reach out if you have any questions, and also Ms. Elliott is always available for you.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Now let's go forward with some of our new supervisors for content. Ms. Panisowicz, I believe you're up.
It's me. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us from the comfort of your warm home this evening. So I am the Yvette Panisowicz. I'm the supervisor for math and science, grades 7 through 12. And you'll see me a little bit later in the program when we get to the arts. I also supervise art grades K through 12. Tonight, I'm going to start off with our science program. And what you're seeing on the screen now is a typical science pathway for our students. There are 3 years of science. They need to be lab sciences that are available to our students to meet New Jersey Department of Education graduation standards. And what you see here, again, is a traditional pathway or opportunities for students to earn those 3 years. You can see our academic programs are offered at a college prep and honors level for our academic offerings. Next slide, please. Here you'll see all the courses that we offer. Again, college prep honors and AP for those of you that have your first student entering high school. AP stands for advanced placement. They're typically courses that are open to juniors and seniors. They are run by the College Board, and students have the potential to earn college credit while in high school. As you can see, we offer many of our science courses at all the academic levels available. Our anatomy and physiology class is a full year class. It's a great class. It is a science elective, therefore does not count towards graduation credits, but many of our students still take the course and enjoy it as a 4th year science. Our forensic science and genetics courses are semester or half-year courses, and they are also electives. In all of our courses, we have hands-on inquiry learning activities. It has to do with some details and nuances of what the state requires, a graduation requirement, how we mark our electives. 3 years to fill graduation requirements, again, in the area of science. We're going to go on to our math sequences now, and math is always a high interest subject, and I'm always happy to answer questions about our math and science programs as you contact me. As you see here, I have a typical sequence starting in 8th grade because we have different levels or different core subjects of math at the middle school, and how that translates out into the area of mathematics for the years that they are with us at Lawrence High School. So the first line designates your child that's in 8th grade math and what their potential math sequence can be while they're in high school. The New Jersey Department of Education dictates algebra-based and geometry courses for graduation. If your child is currently in Algebra 1 at the middle school, you can see a standard or typical progression of course sequences that they could experience while at high school. There are opportunities to enroll in geometry and Algebra 2 classes if your child chooses that option. And there are criteria to enroll in dual math classes that you can find in our course offering book in more detail. Next slide. Thank you, Slide Master. And as you can see, we have our math offerings at the College Prep, Honors, and AP. It does look like there's more electives in the area of math. It's just we have more math offerings or different levels of math to offer. And we have AP Computer Science and AP Computer Science Principles in our program in the math department as well. Those are our courses and the levels at which we offer them. And our elective classes of ProbStat, High School Math and Review are really great options for many students for a 4th year of math. Math is also a 3-year required graduation to meet graduation requirements, excuse me. So we also have, we can move on to the next slide, some areas of additional support in the areas of English and mathematics. We call them seminar classes, and they're available in math and science. And to open your options in math, just remember that Algebra 1 is that foundational course for everything moving forward. And we use our New Jersey Student Learning Standards in order for, as a reference point when we are placing students into our honors and AP classes. My next slide talks about the support programs that we have in our seminar classes for algebra and for our English programs. And we look at students historically. It's not, did they, have a difficult year for a variety of reasons. But we look at student data over multiple years. We get teacher input, and I want to iterate in our support class, Math Algebra 1 seminar, we make sure that our students stays with the same students so that they can reinforce, reteach, and pre-teach to the students so they have confidence in a larger math class, and we can help remediate individual deficiencies in those small groups. And we're going to turn the program over to Dr. Pankos, who can talk to you about our English and humanities programs.
Thank you, Ms. Panasowicz. I'm Dr. Mary Pankhurst. I supervise English, English as a second language, world language, and the social studies departments at the middle school and the high school. So briefly, I'm going to start with the English classes. As Ms. Panasowicz and Mr. Leonard mentioned, we do have a seminar class that is not for credit, for graduation credit. Mr. Leonard is the teacher of that course, and the course is designed to support you. And as Ms. Panasowicz mentioned, it's not about having one bad year. It's about, addressing some of the difficulties that you might be having in reading and writing before you continue on. you need 4 years of English to graduate. And you can see the sequences that we have here for college prep, for honors, and we have a few electives as well. I want to point out for college prep and for the honors classes, we have a lot of options when you get to your senior year, including English 101 and English 102. That is a dual enrollment program that we operate in conjunction with Mercer County Community College. If a student meets Mercer County Community College's requirements in the middle of their junior year, and many of our students do, we currently have nearly 100 students who are seniors this year enrolled in the program. That's about a third of the class in there. They have the chance to earn 6 college credits, 3 for English 101 and 3 for English 102, giving them a good start for when they get to college. So they would graduate with those 6 credits and go on their merry way. We also have AP Language and AP Literature. Based on the AP test, the college that you choose may award you college credit for those courses, but they are also offered for you as well. Next slide, please. If you require English as a second language, you come to the school. If you're in middle school right now, we'll go back on Ms. Acuna's recommendation and any of your tests that you're taking. You will be placed in an English as a second language class based on your language proficiency. As you move out of the program, we'll put you in an English class as well, so we can transition you into the college prep program. Next slide, please. In social studies is only a 3-year graduation requirement. So one of those years has to be a World Civ class. The other 2 years have to be American History. So you can fulfill your American History class requirement in one of 2 ways. You can take AmCiv 1 or AmCiv 1 honors. In 11th grade, you can take AmCiv 2 or AP US History. We have a lot of electives in the social studies department. New for next year, we have a full year course, which is African American Studies. That elective is designed to be a companion to the American Civilization and the AP US History courses. And you can see that we have a lot of half-year electives in 11th and 12th grade. Our newest one is Social Justice. We're looking forward to running both of those programs in the fall. As far as honors and AP electives, we have AP World History, AP Economics, AP European History, AP Government. All of those classes are really wonderful. If you're a sophomore who's really interested in world history, you can take that as much as you want next year. So I hope that you do sign up for that. Next slide, please. In world language, you only need 1 world language to graduate. So if you're doing really well right now, and if you're enjoying your French, your Mandarin Chinese, or your Spanish class over at the middle school, and you have the recommendation to go into the 2nd level, you are on the track to get to the AP courses in your 12th grade year. However, you don't have to stick with that course. You can choose a different path if you like. We also offer Latin at the high school. So if you're a freshman who's interested in taking Latin, we have that available to you. Although there's only 1 year required for the state for graduation requirements, if you're going to college, they look at 2 consecutive years of a world language, of the same world language. So if you're in French, you're going to want to take French 2 and French 3, not French 2 and then Latin 1 the following year. And I believe it's time for Ms. Burke.
Kristen, I'm sorry, we're not able to hear you. Try that again.
Testing.
There you go. Now we can hear you.
We'll try again. Thank you, Dr. Pancoast. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen Burke, and I am the K-12 Supervisor of Educational Technology here in Lawrence. So the courses listed here offer a broad range of hands-on applications in the areas of architecture, graphic imaging, and technology. Through a variety of innovative experiences, students will acquire skills that will prepare them to become productive and contributing members of an ever-changing global society. All of the courses fulfill the 21st century life and careers or technical requirement for graduation. These courses listed are all full-year courses other than Intro to Photography and Intro to Video Production, which are both semester-long courses. In Intro to Photography, the students will learn about the art and science behind photography, and that is a prerequisite for our Advanced Photography and Editing course. In Intro to Video Production, students engage in the understanding of the different phases of production, as well as have the opportunity to produce their own videos. In our TV production course, students get to experience our state-of-the-art TV studio, where they learn about the history of television broadcasting and have the opportunity to also produce the morning news here at the high school. The Introduction to Drafting and AutoCAD course will introduce students to multi-view drawing, pictorial drawing, and creative visualization in the solution of design problems. This course is a prerequisite to our Advanced Architectural and 3D Design course. Inventions and Innovations, a very popular course. Students will explore the importance of the engineering design process and learn a little bit more about how to use it as a tool for innovation. And this course is a prerequisite for our Applied Engineering course. Our Robotics and Programming course, another very popular course. Students will have the opportunity to build not only autonomous but also remote controlled robots using our Lego Mindstorm technology. They will learn about careers in robotics and programming and continue staying immersed in the engineering design process. For this particular course, we do ask that students have an understanding of algebra, which Mrs. Panasowicz was talking about earlier. There's a coding piece that requires some facility with algebraic reasoning. And these courses are all driven by student requests, so they run based on how popular they are. So if students want to take them, then we have enough interest, then we will run those courses. And all of this information, once again, is in the course offerings book. Thank you. Next slide.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Barry Exa. I am one of the assistant principals here at Lawrence High School, and I am also the supervisor of the departments of the next three slides we're about to see. So first up is our award-winning business department. Our business department faculty and students are very active in DECA, which is a competition organization for students to hone their business skills and their business practices. The students and staff involved in this program travel all over the country competing in, they did before this year. They traveled all over the country competing in these DECA events, and they're still competing. They're just doing a little less traveling these days. So these are the courses that are available. Ms. Burke, who just spoke before me, referenced the 21st century life and career graduation requirement. That's a graduation requirement set forth by the state of New Jersey. That's not a Lawrence requirement, but every high school in the state, every public high school in the state has to adhere to that. So one way of meeting that graduation requirement is to take a credit in the technology courses that Ms. Burke just spoke about. If technology is not your thing or not your child's thing, then the business department is another avenue by which you can meet that graduation requirement. And we have the list of the business department offerings here in front of you. I'm not going to read them all, so you can read them yourself. I want to highlight a couple of changes from our previous years. You know, we're constantly looking at our curriculum and looking at our department offerings and seeing, all right, what's outdated and what do we need to do to fill some gaps maybe in our department. So we've introduced two new courses for this year. This coming year. One is the Introduction to Business class, which is an introductory level. It's exactly what it sounds like, an introductory level business class that will really set students up for success if they wish to participate in some of those higher level business courses as they go out later into their high school careers, or if it's something that they're thinking about pursuing once they leave high school. And our Introduction to Computer Science course is a full year course that is a little bit of a reimagining of some existing courses. We previously offered a separate course in JavaScript, a separate course in Python programming languages. We heard some feedback from the community and from the students regarding those courses. And in response to that, We're combining the courses. We're focusing on the programming languages, certainly, but also bringing some other elements into it. We're broadening the scope of the introductory level computer science class. And we're excited to roll that out to the Lawrence High School community starting in the fall of 2021. On the right-hand side of this slide, Sports Marketing 1 and 2, Intro to Social Media, Intro to Business, and Intro to Computer Science, as well as the last bullet on the left, International Business. Those are all elective courses that are available to our 9th grade students. So if we have any 9th graders in the audience, if you guys are interested in taking some business courses, the 4 courses on the right and International Business are the courses that are available to you as freshmen. The other courses will become available to you as you get a little more advanced in your year, sophomore, junior, senior year. And the last note about the business department, the state of New Jersey also has a financial literacy graduation requirement. You have to take one class that meets what they call the financial literacy requirement. We have 3 different classes at Lawrence High School that meet that requirement. You can take a class in personal finance. If that doesn't interest you, you can take our Introduction to Accounting course. If that doesn't interest you, and neither does personal finance, you may take our entrepreneurship course. All 3 of those will fulfill the financial literacy graduation requirement. All right, next slide, please. We're going to move on to another department I supervise, and that is what used to be called, when I was in high school, home economics. The terminology has changed in the few years since I've been in high school. It's now called family and consumer sciences. And I really like that breadth, that broadening of the terminology, because it speaks more to just kind of a broader tent of what is involved. And it's not just about what is done in the home. It really speaks to the consumer element, the business element of some of these things that were previously considered home economics. So in this department, we have fashion design, interior design, and clothing and fabrics, fabrics, and construction. We have our perennial favorites, Culinary 1 and Culinary 2, our cooking classes, nutrition for healthy living. The word living looks like it was cut off there. International foods, early childhood education 1 and 2 for students who might be interested in pursuing a career in early childhood education as teachers when they are, or paraprofessionals when they become older. And our Promising Teachers of Tomorrow course, which is, again, another course geared at developing and nurturing an interest in the educational field. On this slide, fashion, interior, clothing, and the culinary courses and nutrition for healthy living are all open to our freshman students. And then international, early childhood, and promising teachers all become available to you starting in, I think, in sophomore or junior year. All right, one last slide for me, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Ament. Our theater department. The ads are out now, even though this is not a curricular offering. Our LHS theater company is putting on their Zoom-based radio play version of Dracula. So that's coming out next week. So please be on the lookout for advertisements regarding that. Our theater courses, however, are courses that's all happens after school. That's the fun extracurricular stuff. But you can also actually take courses in the dramatic arts as one of your classes you take during the day at school. So Theater 1, Theater 2 are the introductory level theater courses. Stagecraft and design is kind of a neat course. If anybody has any acting experience, as I do, you know that the people who are on stage are obviously a crucial part of the process, but they're not the only parts. There's a lot of folks behind the scenes, working the lights, making the scenery, doing the stage managing. A lot of folks have to come together to make a dramatic production work. So stagecraft and design focuses a little bit more on the production elements of putting on a live production. And then as you get older and rise through the grade levels again, advanced theater studies and the musical theater course are other opportunities for you to explore coursework in the dramatic arts. Whew. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Ms. Ament, who is the proud principal of Eldridge Park, but also holds a role up here at the high school. Ms. Ament, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Barry-Exa. I'm very excited to be here, not only because I know the rising freshman class, and I can't believe they're already ready to enter the high school, in September. But I'm also really excited to tell you about the music program at the high school. We have two fantastic music teachers who are kind of the enthusiastic cheerleaders for their department, and they are a ton of fun to work with. So whether or not you're planning on maybe pursuing music as a career, or you just want a place where you can have fun and really make music and do it really well, as you heard earlier, we have an award-winning music program in Lawrence as well. This is a great place for you. As you can see, our course offerings, they vary from half-year courses where you can learn to play the basics of guitar and piano, or you can go all the way up to some of our honors courses, which do qualify for honors credit. We have the honors winds ensemble and the honors madrigal. Those are auditioned ensembles, but you would earn honors credit to be a part of those activities as well. And orchestra, band, percussion ensemble, all of our performing ensembles. And although, you know, Mr. Adam mentioned before, we are in a very different kind of year, you wouldn't believe the amazing things our teachers are doing to keep kids playing and to keep them playing together. And our LTEF has also funded some software that we are able to allow our students to continue to make music together. So I really encourage you to become part of the music department. You can earn your 1 credit towards graduation in the fine and performing arts here, but I also encourage you to keep that as something as part of your life, part of a group that you can belong to. And we've been super fortunate that this year we were able to have our marching band play at some of our football games. We were able to order proper PPE for the instruments and for our players. And so, you know, we really encourage all students who are interested in music. And if it's something, maybe you just want to learn to play guitar or piano, this is a great place for you to start. So please consider it. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I believe our emails will be provided at the end. At this time, I'm going to pass it over to Yvette Panasowicz again, I believe, who will be talking to you about our fine arts program.
See, I told you I'd be back for more fun. And the fine arts program is a place for your student to find their passion. And I just want to take a moment and be a proud mom. And if you notice my backdrop here, my son graduated in 2007 from Lawrence High School, and he found his passion in the fine arts department and went on to an arts college and is now working in the field as a graphic designer. And that happens to be his college art exhibition project that they all had to submit. So have your child find their passion in these fine and performing arts areas. We have many electives, and I'm excited to share with you our newest elective, Crafts 1 and 2. They are semester courses, meaning they last a half a school year. We have Drawing 1 and 2 that are semester classes, and Painting 1 and 2. What's great about the semester format of our introductory and foundation classes is if your child goes into, let's say, drawing and finds it to be a bit tedious, but is an artistic type of child, well, perhaps they can match that with a crafting course. Our crafting course is going to have a big cultural component to it. Each of those crafting courses will connect projects with different cultures and areas of the world. Your student might be able to connect with a part of their culture and be able to express that through their artwork. We also have full year courses, and they are our Commercial Arts 1, 2, and 3, which happen to be the area where my child found his passion. You're doing a lot of graphic designing with Adobe Photoshop and things of that matter. We have Pottery 1, 2, and 3. We have Drawing 3, Painting 3, and AP Studio Art for our students who want to dedicate their time and their skills for that passion and have the potential of earning college credit while here in high school. So again, please encourage your child to find their passion in the arts. They need 1 credit in the umbrella area of fine and performing arts to meet graduation requirements. And I believe I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Z now for our physical education and health programs.
Thank you, Mrs. Panasowicz. Good evening, everyone. As Mrs. Panasowicz mentioned, my name is Greg Znarovitz, and I'm thrilled to be the athletic director here at Lawrence High School. Before we talk about sports and athletics, I'd like to briefly touch on health and physical education at LHS. Both are good. Both are four-year requirements as required by the state of New Jersey. All students will take health one marking period each school year, and physical education is taken the remainder of the year. Sophomore year, the health course offered is driver education. We have a variety of different sports and activities offered in our PE curriculum, such as ultimate frisbee, tennis, golf, badminton, pickleball, volleyball, backyard games, just to name a few examples. We do require all students to take one unit of swimming and wellness each school year, and each unit is approximately 15 school days long. Moving on to sports and athletics, there's never been a better time to be an athlete at Lawrence High School. As you can see from the pictures, we have some of the nicest facilities in Mercer County. We have a beautiful stadium turf field, next slide, where our field hockey, lacrosse, and football teams practice and play on. We also have a turf field in between the middle school and high school, where our girls and boys soccer, baseball, and softball teams practice and play on. And as you can see from the next slide, we have pictures of our softball team, football team, as well as our cheerleaders in our gym, which in the last 5 years has been updated as well. We also have a 6-lane swimming pool, next slide, which certainly has helped to support two very competitive swim teams for many, many years. The last picture you will see is our weight room, which is open year-round to any student, not just athletes, who want to work out at the end of the school day. Just 2 summers ago, the weight room was updated, making it one of the nicest weight rooms in the area. The next slide lists the various varsity sports we offer at the high school, 25 varsity sports in total. And if you would ever like to reach out to one of our head coaches, all their contact information is on our athletic department website. Our next slide talks about being a Lawrence Cardinal athlete, and it requires a commitment on your end. Most of our teams practice 6 days a week. Many teams, especially those in the fall, run optional summer workouts. You need to make sure that you are passing your classes, getting good grades to be eligible to compete. And lastly, all athletes need a physical on file with the school nurse, as well as registering online. The next slide. For all you interested in playing a fall sport, practice for football and girls tennis officially get underway for the fall 2021 season on August 9th and August 16th for all the other fall sports. Information on signing up for a fall sport will come out in late May, early June. I cannot stress enough that at this time, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to myself. My contact information is on the athletic department website. And a reminder, contact information for all our coaching staff is located on our website as well. In the meantime, stay well, and I look forward to many of you representing Lawrence High School next school year. I'm now going to turn it over to our supervisor of guidance, Ms. Philmeyer, who will be talking about graduation requirements.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Melanie Philmeyer, and I'm the District Supervisor of Guidance. First, I have to say that it is crazy. I see a lot of names on here that I remember when I started, you all were in LIS, which is crazy and exciting, but at the same time, it makes me feel a little bit old, so I can't imagine how overwhelming this is for the parents here. So we're talking with graduation requirements, attendance, academics. I know this is a lot of information. So, all this information is on our guidance website on the program and studies link. So all of this stuff is primarily in the front, and then throughout the rest of the book is the courses. So you can always go back and reference it, because obviously this is not something we expect you to remember just from a presentation from one night. Go ahead. Next slide. As far as attendance requirements, it's a little bit different in high school. So, if you missed a day of school, that's one thing. If you like to sleep in, if you have difficulty getting up, it kind of looks at the overall school day. If you're not great at waking up in the morning and you miss first period 15 times, you lose credit for that course. So you really have to pay attention to making sure that your attendance is good and that you're there for a couple of reasons. One, academically, it's really hard to be successful if you do miss that much school. Also, you will not get credits for that course, and you will have to repeat that course during the next school year. And I know that that's something that nobody on this call wants their child or they would really want to do. So for a half-year course, you have to pay attention. That's your electives, your semester courses. You can only miss 8 days before you lose credit. PE is 12 because it's you only miss 1 marking period of that. And then health, since it's only 1 marking period, you can only miss 4 days. So that's something to really be careful about and really to pay attention to, because in high school, you really want to make sure that you get your credits and you don't have to take the courses over again. That's a little different going up to this point. You know, before you were able to kind of move on if you didn't pass a class or had difficulty in a class. In high school, you will take that 1 course over again. Go ahead. The other thing is graduation requirements as far as course levels. These are identified courses as far as the state requirements. So this isn't something that Lawrence just made up, that we, want students to take these things. We support them, but at the same time, these are requirements that are binding for the state. So you need 4 years of English. So if you are not to pass English your freshman year, you will take 2 Englishes the following year. Another one that's really important to stand out is foreign language. And I know Dr. Pankos talked about this earlier. The state says that you only need 1 year for graduation. But if you plan on going to a 4-year college, you really need 2 years or more than that in order to be successful when applying for competitive 4-year colleges or more than that. And I don't need to go over these in detail, but as you can see, pretty much all the academic areas, you need at least 3 or more years in. And then the electives, you get to pick at least 4.5 credits in electives. And I think, really try to figure out what classes you would really enjoy taking, because if you looked at the prior slides, if you really enjoy a lot of art classes, you want to make sure that you take some of the lower level art classes so that you can benefit from the higher level classes later on in your college career. Go ahead. I think you have to click it again too. So kind of what I talked about earlier, one of the things, those were the state graduation requirements, but really depending on what your goals are for post-secondary, you really will meet with your school counselor and talk about what would be appropriate classes for you to take, because you want to make sure that what you're taking fits with your secondary goals. And that's something that you really have to start thinking about in high school that you may not have really had to think about much before. So, make sure that you're having those conversations about what you like, what your interests are, what your strengths are, and having these conversations so that, when you go to apply to college, your counselor can really guide you to take the right courses. So when you do apply to college, you are prepared and ready to kind of do what you really want to do. Go ahead. So the NJSLA. So this has been rather interesting because, with the pandemic that we're currently in and everyone being virtual, typically this conversation is pretty easy, and this is what the requirements are. Right now, it says that you need to pass your NJSLA ELA 10 test and also the Algebra 1 to meet the state graduation requirements. I know some of you are thinking right now, oh my gosh, I'm in Algebra 1. What does that mean for me? So it means that you should take the test seriously, because obviously you're not going to get a chance to possibly take it again. So take that test seriously this year. Right now, the state is saying that we will be providing the NJSLA for this year. If we do not have it this year, like we did last year, the state has currently waived it for the seniors that are currently graduating. So it's not something for you to get overwhelmed about, get upset about in the event that there is issues as far as the pandemic. But in the event we do have testing, you need to try your hardest, because that Algebra 1 test during 8th grade does count towards graduation. So pay attention to that. If not, if you're going to take Algebra 1 as a freshman next year, then you also want to take that seriously. And then the grade 10 ELA test also, you want to make sure you take that seriously. If you are not a good test taker and it's just not your thing, there are options that do become available at times. So right now, we don't know exactly what they'll look like, and I'm sure the state will update this on a regular basis. If you want to look into it, you can go to the state website as time goes on to see what the changes are, because it has, because of the pandemic, been changed on a regular basis. But just don't worry. There's always alternative options, and we'll help you through that. Go ahead. Go ahead again. So I kind of talked about this, take it seriously. And then next is going to be Mrs. Sasse to talk about special education.
Hi, everybody. My name's Nicole Sasse, and I'm the supervisor of special services for grades 7 to graduation. I'm just going to introduce and just talk a little bit about our case managers. So for those of you, that are in 8th grade, when you have your IEP meeting towards the end of the school year, your new case manager will be joining you from the high school to help in that transition over from middle school to high school. So currently right now, our case managers are Ms. Grappone, Dr. Sherbakoff, Ms. Page, Ms. Walters, and Ms. Sedzik. If you have any questions, regarding special education or special services, you can always feel free to reach out to me. And I'm going to pass the mic back.
Hello again. So I'm going to talk a little bit about scheduling for this year, which I'm sure most people are excited about. So you can go to the next slide. So the high school counselors go over to the middle school. Well, actually, now they don't go over. They're going to meet with your student, your child, through Zoom. So right now, if you want to pay attention, take a picture and look at what alphabet will break up so that this is your child's school counselor. So you can start asking them questions as soon as you want. If you have concerns, you can always email them. Their emails are on the district website and the high school website. And if you have questions about high school, feel free to reach out. Also, you can still access your middle school counselors and ask them questions, and they can always reach out to the high school if you're more comfortable with that. But this will be the breakup, and these school counselors will be meeting with your child starting March. Yeah.
Ms. Philmar, quick question. The counselors that the 9th grade students will work with as freshmen, will they stay for all 4 years or just as freshmen right now?
They will stay with them for all 4 years. So you will get to know them well. You can feel like they're your contact person and ask them whatever you feel necessary, and they will get to know you and your child as much as possible. So this way you'll be able to be comfortable working with them on a regular basis, and they're kind of that quick email to like, what do I do for this kind of thing. So this way you get to know them really well. So as I said earlier, they will start meeting with your child in early March. A lot of the 8th graders right now are pretty smart because they already realize that in their calendar in Genesis is their scheduling appointment. And we didn't even send it to them yet to let them know. So in Genesis, they have in the calendar, it has their counselor's name, it has the Zoom link and the time and date that they will be meeting with them. So that is already in there. And then they will, meet with them at that time to pick their courses. You can go to, there's like 2 more dots for you to, or a couple more. So they are going to meet through Zoom. So like, even if you're in person and, if your child's in school that day, they'll go down to guidance, or they could go from class, whatever's most, comfortable at that time. And they'll Zoom to the counselors at the high school just because of the situation that we're in. Or if they're home and they're remote, then they just log in during that time. The teachers are aware that they'll be logging in during that time. So if they miss class, they'll, that'll be taken care of. I think there's 3 more dots, Faye, if you want to just. In the spring is when, so your child will sign up with their counselor for their courses. And from that point, we will then take those courses and we will send them home to you so that you can look at it and be like, that is not what we talked about. And then you can call the counselor and then have that conversation if necessary. But you will have that information in the mail. We do ask that any changes that you want, if you could really quickly try to get back to the counselor and let them know, just because we want to make sure that we make all changes by May 28th. And that's because we like to run the master schedule. And if we have all the classes that your child really needs or wants to take, it helps us build the schedule so that this way we can try to make sure that they can get the courses that are most appropriate for them. The other thing that I always like to say is a lot of times students will say, but that's not fair. My friend is, March 2nd and I'm March 20th. Like, does that mean that I'm not going to get my classes? It doesn't mean that at all. We run each grade level together at a time based off of the courses that are necessary. So it doesn't matter if you're first, it doesn't matter if you're last, your information's still in there and it's okay. There's no reason to stress that. And schedules should be given to all students at final schedules over the summer. And I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Ms. Philmeyer. Ms. Philmeyer and I work very closely. I am, as Ms. Philmeyer says, I am the one who actually runs the master schedule at the high school and builds the master schedule for 100+ teachers and 1,200 students. So it is a challenging task, but one that I think we do a really good job here at the high school. everything that we do at the high school is student-centered, specifically building the master schedule. So as Ms. Phil, before we get started, I'm here to give you some tips and tricks of how to get that schedule that you want. One thing Ms. Fulmeyer did go over that I want to talk about is how we actually build the master schedule. So building the master schedule, we actually feed the request through by grade level. So, and that really matters with electives, right? So our seniors are fed through first because they usually have the most challenging schedules, and this is their last year at the high school. And then we have our juniors, then our sophomores, and then our freshmen. So, with that being said, as a freshman, it's very important, and this is something you're going to hear me reiterate several times, that you choose an alternate for your electives. For your core courses, not so much, but the electives are where, there is usually some question or concern that, you want to just make sure that you do have that alternate just in case you don't get that first opportunity. But again, I would say about 80% of the time, students do get their first course requests. But if you have that alternative, you're more likely to get an elective that you would like. So when choosing your electives, we're asking you to select at least I believe it's like 3 credits worth of electives. And most of the electives are 1 credit. And again, for each 1 credit elective, you want to choose a 1 credit alternate in its place. There are some half credit electives. Like I said, the majority of our electives are 1 credit. Those half credits electives, we're asking you to choose a half credit alternate. Again, a student needs to choose at least 3 credits worth of electives. This is inclusive of your world language. And again, we ask that students get that world language credit out of the way, specifically that first year. All right. Okay, so now the scheduling process. So one thing that we will tell students is, jump onto the portal as soon as possible. The portal will officially open tomorrow. Ms. Malowski and I will be pushing out a video to students to actually walk them through step by step what I'm about to go over tonight. This will be also posted on the district webpage as well, our high school page, this presentation. But again, we're going to specifically push out a video of how to open up and take your child through how to select the courses in the scheduling process. We will also be pushing out a cheat sheet, and we will also be pushing out a step-by-step directions for the students. But to quickly go through, when you log on to the parent page or the student page, you're going to select scheduling, and then you're going to select course requests, okay, or requests. So Faye, if you could go to Ms. Lopez, go to the next slide for me. Once you get to requests, one thing you will see is the request a course hyperlink at the bottom. Once you select that request a course hyperlink, it will take you to the courses in that subject area. So Ms. Lopez, if you could go to the next slide. This person here is selected electives, and you will see all the electives that are available to that student at the 9th grade level. You can also choose the priority of the course, and there's also an area that gives you a quick description. The course of studies will also be sent home on Friday, and they are also available on our guidance webpage. Next week, I believe we will also have those course requests, those course of study books available at the high school for those of you who like those in person or those books that you can have right in your hand. So again, we're asking that you jump on the system and you fill out this information, and this information will help to guide their experience with the guidance counselor. Every student will be meeting with their counselor to select their courses, but parents, we ask you to sit with the kid, with your students, to help them go through and select the courses. So when they're with their counselor, this will make their experience with their counselor a lot smoother and a lot easier. So again, I want to reiterate, Mrs. Malowski and I will be pushing out some information both to the parents and to the students tomorrow. The scheduling portal will be opening on Friday. It will open on Friday. And again, it will close for you March 5th. After that March 5th date, we're going to close that scheduling portal, and the students will start meeting with their counselors after that March 5th date. So that we're asking you to get in there as soon as possible. We will be sending reminders through the email. And again, make it a family, process where you are sitting with your kid and designing their courses for the up and coming year. And it's important that you do sit down with them, because this kind of builds the foundation in which that's going to take them through their high school experience. Over to you, Mr. Adam.
Well, it's about 10 minutes after 8. I know, again, if we were in real person, that evening goes by very quickly, but sitting on Zoom, it's a very different experience. So we recognize that. One of the things we'd like to do is thank all of our parents for sitting with us this evening, being part of this. Also, thank you to all of our panelists who are here. We appreciate your input, what you shared with all of us. Again, for our parents, if you have questions, there's a couple we're going to try and answer individually through the Q&A that's down below. However, after this evening, when we wrap up here, you're welcome to reach out to any one of us that are on this slide, as well as our contact information is on the Lawrence High School website. So if you go to www.ltps.org, that will show up, the district website. You can click on Lawrence High School, LHS. You can find many of our contact information through that website. Again, our main webpage for the high school, we will take this presentation tonight. We'll post that there so you'll be able to see it. You can fast forward it and take a look at the parts that you just want to take a look at and help refresh. Again, I know there's some, a lot of information was shared tonight. There's much more information we didn't even get a chance to share with all of you. It's so very important to help for the success of your children as they make their way through Lawrence High School. But we're going to get through all that. Again, we don't want to overwhelm you all in one evening. We're here throughout the years to help support every step of the way. This is just the transition to get into the high school. And then once you're in 9th grade, we're going to help support you into 10th grade and 11th grade, beyond senior year to wherever else your children want to go. So we will be here all along to help support them as they make their way through the next 4 years. So this is just the beginning. This is just the opening to get started. All right. So we have 1 or 2 questions down below. We'll respond to those questions. But for the most part, we want to thank everyone for being here this evening. Thanks everyone for your help. And we look forward to seeing you at Lawrence High School, with fingers crossed, in real life somewhere down the road in the near future. So have a great night, everyone. Take care and stay safe.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally.